Okay. Thank you for joining us for our end of year Fringe celebration and awards ceremony. It's lovely to see all of you. Can you hear me without this?
No.
Not right. Okay.
That's a wave, yeah.
Many thanks to the Serpentine Community Garden for hosting the awards ceremony for the third time. We're now indoors twice versus once outdoors. But it's great to have that option. So thank you very much to Carol Garner and all the team at Serpentine for helping us out. At the top table today we have Jeanette Hamilton. Jeanette's in her. I haven't even told you what she does. So Jeanette is in her first year as Vice Chair of the Fringe, and she's been an invaluable support with all her enthusiasm and attention to detail, two things that I'm not particularly known for. Also we have Robbie Carnegie and Stephanie Billen. Long-time Fringe stalwarts. Robbie is our reviews coordinator and Steph is our marketing officer and looks after about 1 million other things as well. And I'm Stephen Walker and I chair the Fringe, which means I get really out for things like this. I'm going to use the C word, hopefully for the last time. Last year after COVID, I felt we were back to full strength in terms of entrance and events and all that, but I felt audiences kind of were slower to follow. But I feel like this year has been brilliant in terms of audiences. It's just shows have felt fuller. I hope anybody who put on a show feels that. That's good. Audience has been much healthier. Unfortunately, after the overpowering heat of last year, it's just rained and rained and rained this year. It's almost as if extreme weather events are becoming more common. Who would have thought it? But thanks to everybody who has come out and seen lots of shows. It would have been very tempting to stay indoors and just watch telly. But of course the Fringe is all about the performers and the artists and the shows and the exhibitions and everything that's going on. So thank you so much for bringing your work to us. It's been wonderful. We're really struck by the quality of the work this year, as anyone who sat in our awards deliberations this morning and this afternoon will attest. It went on for a long time. But before we get to those awards, there's a lot of people to thank. So in no particular order, I want to thank my committee for just so much work. I think it's worth noting that we're really unusual as a festival in that we're entirely run by volunteers with a horrifyingly small budget compared to probably any other arts festival, anything like comparable size. So I'd like to thank everybody that got together this morning and last night to discuss the awards and the deliberations, because it's hard work. And I'd like to thank all the venues, lots of venues, our usual managed venues like Underground, Rotunda, Greenman Gallery, but lots of other places, from new places like always get the name wrong, and I had my daughter's 21st birthday party there and I still get it wrong. Bailey's, thank you. I always called something else, but I won't say the other thing because Bailey's and the Dub and the Methodist Church, the URC, everywhere that shows went on. I'd like to thank our Fringe Friends. Our Fringe Friends are just so important to us financially. Aside from our entry fees, I think Fringe Friends are easily our biggest contributor of income. So thank you to all of them. We do get some funding from High Peak Borough Council, so thank you to them as well. Thank you to Morrison's and Rob, who's the Morrison's community champion, who helps us out all through the year with bits and pieces for our events. Our programme designer, John Tromans, who does another fine job that made our proofing session very easy this year. In the carnival, Lomas, for the truck that we use in the carnival, and also everybody that came and helped out with the carnival float this year. Parkwood Leisure for providing the space for the Fringe desk and looking after us there. The Buckingham Hotel, which completely closed, but we still sneak in for deliberation. So if you wonder where we're hiding, they'll never find us in there.
Nobody would dare enter.
Nobody would dare enter, frankly, apart from us, you know. Once we got past the falling ceiling, you're fine. The pump room and the train station and Friends of Buxton Station for the displays that they host for us. All our reviewers, lots of people out reviewing shows. Just actually a particular word for Robbie, who was picking up dropped reviews left, right and centre, and has done a huge amount of work at that and editing and putting things up. So thank you very much, Robbie. All the local media who cover us, so it's the Advertiser, great to have the festival supplement again this year, Pure Peak and BBC Radio Derby, and I've said it before, but the performers, that's what it's all about, you know, that's what we're here for. So before we start on the awards, you know, choosing things is really hard. We're a completely open access Fringe, so in some ways it's a bit invidious, you know, to choose awards for excellence. But you know, it is important to do that, and also we give them a free entry to the Fringe next year, so we get good stuff coming back, which is nice. But everybody has put lots of work in. Not everything can be nominated. Very few can win awards, but everything is appreciated, and everything finds an audience and is enjoyed. So thank you very much for all your work. Just a little aside about awards. We have to judge things in the category they're entered. Sometimes that's a little bit frustrating, that you see a show and you think maybe you should have been somewhere else, but you know that's all we can do. Music, just a general thing, we do reserve the right to change awards around sometimes. I think the only significant change this year is that music has been a spectacularly strong category. I think we had 50 entries in music. The quality was fantastic, so we do have one extra award in music this year, and it's to recognise shows that are mainly music but also have something else going on, whether that's you know a bit of a lecture, a bit of a story, something else as well as the music, so that there will be a kind of show award that recognises that. Okay, so I think that's everything. I will hand over to, who's up first? Steph's up first to start the awards presentations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does that work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I've got the great pleasure of talking about visual arts. We've had such a great time looking at all the visual arts events on offer this time, and it was very difficult to work out who should be nominated. And we were also, I should say, very sorry that the Buxton Museum had to cancel its two exhibitions, which we were really looking forward to. But anyway, after a lot of deliberations, we're making an award in visual arts event, and we're making an award for artist. And the nominations for visual arts event are Art in the Octagon, High Peak Artists, spectacular show where artists were very generous with their time in showing us what they're doing as well. The Great Dome Art and Design Fair, Peak District Artisans, again in the Dome, fantastic venue for it, and so many artists to enjoy there. And an event called Images from the Book of Knowledge, the Grolier edition. Now this one, there's a reason we call it event. It's not an exhibition as such, it's an experience, this one. And it created a huge amount of discussion and enjoyment, and it's one of those events that interested us with all our different senses, with touch, with visual, eyes, sorry, not well prepared, am I? Sound. It's very hard to describe if you haven't been there, but I should stop talking and just let you know that the winner of the event is Images from the Book of Knowledge. is here, and he's going to come.
Sorry, don't get wrong idea.
Thank you. Thanks. Cheers. Well done.
And now we come to artists, and the list we have here are Chris Ray from Adventures in Art at the Green Man, who did some spectacular self-portraits that were completely outside his comfort zone, which was sort of the point of this very interesting exhibition. Adrian Brown, an artist who we've had our eye on for a long time and is always developing, and that was at Art at the Crescent. Emma Sidwell, who is a multi-talented person who creates jewellery but also very, very detailed pieces of art. And that was at Art in the Octagon, High Peak Artists. Emily Murch, a fantastic textile artist at the Great Dome Art and Design Fair, Peak District Artisans. And Tracy Coverley, who created her own exhibition called Stitched Up, which was both technically fantastic and also moved people and just kept people there for ages observing it all and being blown away by it. And the winner is Tracy Coverley. Very satisfactory, and we're hoping that everybody's won anything is here. I'm sure that'll work out. Always does. So now we're moving on to dance, and this was really hard to sort out, and we ended up nominating all three events in the section. So that was the 1950s tea dance, Shellac is Back. What an event that was, fantastically fun. The Buxton Day of Dance, Chapel and Frith Morris, no strangers to Buxton Fringe, and they perform in every weather and are always spectacular. And the Family Ceilidh with the Nifty, as it's pronounced, and Friends, the National Youth Folklore Troupe of England at Bakewell Town Hall, a new event which was a great deal of fun and very impressive as well. But the winner is the Buxton Day of Dance.
You're bound to jinx it, won't you?
Yeah. Street theatre. We love this section, and in a way what we do here isn't quite reflective of what goes on at the Fringe, because there's a lot of street theatre around actually. We have busking outside the desk, and it's got that experimental feel about it. But we had to make a decision on the entries that we have in the programme, and on this occasion we have one nomination and one winner, and the winner is the Shakespeare Jukebox. I think that's it from me for a moment, but I will be passing on to Jeanette.
Hello, I don't know whether I can reach this, yes, okay. So this is the first time that I've presented awards, so please bear with me. And as I think we said before, music is the largest, got the largest number of entrants, 50. So I'd just like to thank the chair for giving me the largest to present. Okay, so I think we had 49 or 50 entrants here, and spectacular quality throughout. It's broken down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, and the first is large ensemble. So nominated are a Chamber Cornucopia Cheshire Chamber Collective, City of Manchester presents a Right Royal Revelry, City of Manchester Opera, Enchantment, Enjoyment and Enrichment from High Peak Orchestra. Keld at the Fringe Part 1, Chamber Works for String Ensemble and Clarinet. And Simply A Cappella, Ordsel A Cappella Singers. And the award goes to Keld at the Fringe Part 1. The second group is Small Ensemble Classical, and the nominees are Beethoven, Glier and A Tea Time Tango, Miles 2 String Duo, Brahms Quintet Fest, Julian Davies, Emma Tennant and Bright Quartet, Music and Art, Strings Quartet from Around the World, Belafonte Quartet, Henrietta Hill and Friends, and Partita Renaissance and Baroque Music from Partita. And the award goes to the Brahms Quintet Fest. And then we move on to Small Ensemble Popular Tradition. And we've got 3 here. We've got Close Enough at the Pump Room, the Close Enough Barbershop Quartet, Laid Back Jazz Blues, Sideways Band, and Rare Occasion in Concert by Rare Occasion. And the award goes to Close Enough at the Pump Room. Okay, so we move on to solo vocal. And we've got Adrienne Pine, an art song recital, Going to Heaven. Annie Duggan, Clarksdale presents Annie Duggan live in concert. Anastasia Trebeva, classical song recital. Hannah Bryan with Clive Gregson. And Lily La Scala, Siren. And the award goes to Lily La Scala, Siren. And finally in this category we've got show, and here we've got As I Walked Out by Archangel, Dead Set Dance by Isaac Nielsen, Music and Myth, John Pickard, Peter and the Wolf Adventures in Music and Art by Sheffield Music Academy and Friends, and Telly Full of Songs Part 2 with commercial breaks by Fredda. And the award goes to Peter and the Wolf. The other category that we're looking at here is the and more section, with various groups and activities. And there are 2 nominees here. There's Caspar Thomas, Magic and Mentalism, and Illusionati, A Magical Conspiracy by the Great Baldini. And the award goes to the Great Baldini. I'll hand over to Robbie. Various categories.
Thank you very much. Maybe a touch high. That's it. That'll be fine. Thank you very much. Hi everybody. So I'm going to be presenting in sort of 3 main groups for this afternoon, and the first one is the children's events. Actually a really strong category this year, so it's really good. I managed to get to most of the children's events, and it was really good to see the range of stuff that was on there. And we have 3 nominations in that category. The first one was Nicholas's birthday party. This was a comedian, Daniel Nicholas, inviting us all to his party, greeting us all personally. It took about 5 minutes while he went round the entire room, and then we all indulged in lots of silly party games, and it was all great fun. The second one was Mountains of the Moon from Ashgate Heritage Arts, a new musical piece about animals finding their way to get water back to their world. Very charming and delightfully done. The next one was Mr. Sleepy Bum by Jodie Kamali. Another great fun show for all the family. Paid to an absolutely packed house yesterday at underground venues, and getting people's parents out of the audience to help him with his dreams and making them look stupid in front of their children, which always goes down well. And finally, from earlier on today, The Wagon of Wonder, played by babbling vagabonds in the woods up behind us here in Gadley Woods, with rain, mud and midges, adding to the fun of it. But the award goes to Mountains of the Moon. Okay, we're now on to the theatre awards. We're going to start with our youth area of theatre. So there's a lot of there's a number of shows that get put on by youth groups around the area, and also youth performers within those. So we like to separate those out from the kind of grown-up offerings. So the first award I'm going to present in this is for youth actor, and this will be actors of either gender. So the first nomination is for Samuel Eaton for Alice from the Rec Youth Theatre Company. Next we have Wilf Hornsey Saunders, again for Alice from the Rec Youth Theatre Company. Following that we have Natasha Woodham for Risk, which was part of the double bill of Tuesday and Risk from the Buxton Opera House Young Company. Then Kate Trimble, also for Risk, from that double bill. In the double bill again, but the other part of the double bill, Tuesday, we have Harry Woodward for that. Also for Tuesday we have Henna Crossfield. And also for Tuesday we have Benji Brunnock. The next nomination is for Eddie Waller, who was in Mountains of the Moon from the up at the Leeward Hotel yesterday. And the final nomination goes to Alice Lum for To Be or Not to Be from the Buxton Opera House Summer Company. And the award goes to Eddie Waller for Mountains of the Moon. Okay, so the next category is the youth production. And we've got 3 nominations in this. The first nomination is for Alice from the Rec Youth Theatre Company. The next nomination is for Risk from the double bill Tuesday and Risk at the Buxton Opera House Young Company. And the final nomination is for To Be or Not to Be from the Buxton Opera House Summer Company. And the award goes to Risk. Okay, so we now move on to the grown-up theatre category. And the first category for this is for male actor. And the nominations are Jack Gloyens for the Canterville Ghost, the musical from Magpie Theatre. John Hewer for Maybe Dick, Hambledon Productions. Patrick O'Donnell for Revenant, Devils and Dust. Nick Denan for St Nicholas from Strange Fish Theatre Company. Nick Wilson for Striking Feet, Clickers and Benders, which apparently is a shoemaking term. So, and Andrew Freeman for Two from Buxton Drama League. And the award goes to Nick Denan for St Nicholas.
Of me. Not that I had anything to do with it other than hosting it.
Okay, so the next category is female actor, and the nominations are Frankie Fleming for The Canterville Ghost the Musical from Magpie Theatre, Sue Penton for Lost and Found from Breathe Out Theatre, Heather Alexander for Room from Emulate Theatre Company and Sweet Productions, and Corinne Coward for Two from Buxton Drama League. And the award goes to Heather Alexander for Room.
It's not that good. Just on behalf of Sweet Productions, thank you so much.
Send me on there, please.
JD Henshaw. JD.
Sorry.
Just JD, no dots, don't worry. Just no dots. Henshaw.
Lovely, thank you.
Okay, and the final category that I'll be reading out is for theatre production, which is a really strong category this year. Some really, really strong shows on across the board of different companies, and the nominations are The Canterville Ghost the Musical from Magpie Theatre, A Caravan Named Desire from Split Infinitive, Maybe Dick from Hambledon Productions, Revenant from Devils and Dust, Room from Emulate Theatre Company and Sweet Productions, St Nicholas from Strange Fish Theatre Company, Striking Feet from Clickers and Benders, Two from Buxton Drama League, and What If from the Spanner in the Works Theatre Company. And the award goes to Revenant. Now I'll hand back to Stephen.
Robbie, can I give you that?
Yes.
Right, I get organised here. I've got rather a lot to get through.
Oh, sorry.
On the screen, by the way.
Do not disturb, set the alarm.
No,
sorry.
sorry, everybody's going off. Everybody's got something on at 6. I better wrap this up quick.
Go off on do not disturb.
So you're not the only one. Right, I'll start with the first thing I'm going to do is film. Film was a ridiculously long decision for two events. So we had we nominated both, and they're fantastic in their separate ways. So Road Tripping by Yaz and Hazal Shatter has been showing all week at underground venues, and it's a wonderful 20-minute short film filmed in the area. It's beautiful, very touching film. And also the short film exhibition by Buxton Film at the Pavilion Arts Centre, which was a wonderful event with 10 entries from filmmakers with a link to Buxton or the Peak District. A huge audience in to see it on that Monday night. But the award goes to Road Tripping by Yaz and Hazal Shatter. Spoken word. Category that just seems to get stronger and stronger as we go on. So our nominees are #Stand Up Poet Greg Byron, How Mad Was Ted Hughes on Poetry and Passion by Michael Gibson. This is an event that sparked a walkout in the first performance. I mean,
Poetic controversy.
I know, you've got to love that. Something that sparks enough passion about poetry to do that. Meet the Experts lunchtime talks. Buxton Museum and Art Gallery were able to salvage that show from, well, not quite rubble of the museum and art gallery. Let's hope it doesn't go that far. Oscar Wilde Fairy Tales from PJV Studio. Schism from Shadow Syndicate, which is a wonderful performance by a very young actor and writer. And This Is Not Therapy from Tina Cedarholm. But the award this year goes to Oscar Wilde Fairy Tales from PJ Vickers Studio. comedy's always a big category and a tough one to judge, but we have 2 awards in this. So the first one I'll be doing, which is not the first one I have here, is the award for comedy show. So the nominations are Angelabra, Micro Rave, Dave Bibby for Baby Dinosaur, Drag Queens vs Vampires from House of Dench, Moloprov Cocktail from the LU Comedy Institute, Soiree of Black Liver from Black Liver, and Three's Company Adventure Department Screech brackets a live recording from Three's Company. And the award goes to, it was a very late entry into the Fringe and it was a one-off event, but I think everybody in the room just absolutely loved Screech, a live recording of Adventure Department from Three's Company. Okay, stand-up comedy. Gosh, I just anybody who stands up and tries to make anybody laugh is just incredibly brave. Thank you, Bob. So I'll give myself the award. The nominees for stand-up are Aidan Goatley for 10 Films with My Dad, Darren Walsh, Third Rock from the Pun, Hayley Ellis for Hayley's Comic, John Maher for Cam, Nathan Cassidy for 50, and Richard Pulsford for Short Joke Teller. And the winner is, he's just made for Buxton, Aidan Goatley for 10 Films with My Dad. From the Sweet Productions family. Actually, to be fair, if you get a picture of me and JD and use AI, pretty much
We were once sitting outside during Brighton Fringe just a few weeks back, and one of my team came out, and I was sitting with Aidan. She looked straight past us, couldn't see us at all for just being 2 bald, middle-aged men.
Quite right.
So much.
Okay. Right. We're on to our final 3 awards. I'll be presenting the first 2 of those, and these are our awards that don't fit into any category, so they're awarded across category. So the first one I'm going to do is new writing, and the nominations are Alexander Millington for A Caravan Named Desire, Dave Bibby for Baby Dinosaur, Polis Loiseau for I Was a Teenage Bisexual, Rob Johnson for Lost and Found, PJ Vickers for Nation, or Nation, so I should say, and David Head and Matt Glover for Unwanted Objects. And the winner goes to a lovely, lovely show in the Rotunda over this weekend, David Head and Matt Glover for Unwanted Objects. So the penultimate award of the evening, and the last one I'm going to present, is it's always a very special award for us. It's the John Beecher Award, awarded in memory of John Beecher, presented by his family. John was a lovely, lovely young man who used to work at underground venues when they were down properly underground underneath the old Hall Hotel. Just a very intelligent and charming young man who was always a pleasure to spend time with when we were in there. But John unfortunately died very young. But we just give an award for this. The award is for a show that displays originality, high production values, and we're looking for something a bit different for this, something that's maybe just a bit different from everything else we've seen. This year the award goes to A Caravan Named Desire from Split Infinitive, which is a really fascinating show that was in Rotunda Suite this year. So, hand hand back to Steph, who's going to present the Spirit of the Fringe this year.
Right, Spirit of the Fringe. It's really. Spirit of the Fringe, it's really hard to define, and it's something that tends to sit outside the normal awards process where we chew over everything. This is more about following our hearts. It's hard to define, so we'll try. I'm going to start telling you a little story. There was a student, and she was a music student, and she was working at Haddon Hall Care Home, and while she was serving tea one day, she suddenly burst into song. And she never forgot the importance of that decision to all those people who were, all the residents there, and particularly people with dementia. And what has this got to do with the Fringe? Well, Katie Allen has been at the Fringe with her dementia-friendly coffee concert at Buxton Methodist Church, which is for people with dementia and also their carers. And it's a cafe-style concert, so it's a fantastic idea in any case. She's also been around and about, generously giving her time with the Burbage Band at the Buxton Methodist Church. And whilst we recognise that many of our entrants are very community-minded, and so many are so generous with their giving money to charity and all the rest of it, but on this occasion we wanted to honour Katie Allen with Spirit of the Fringe.
So can you just
Take one there. Nick with a C. Is this air?
Oh, that was really lovely.
Thank you very much.
I'm now just going to pass back to Stephen. Thank you.
Don't worry, I haven't got much more to say. Just thank you all to everybody for coming tonight. Thanks to everybody who set up the event for us today, and who will know. You know what will happen now? I will sit here and chat to lots of people, and the place will just be taken down around me, and I'll contribute absolutely nothing as ever. There's going to be some perks to being the chair, but thank you all very much for coming, and see you all again this time next year. Thank you.
As my husband knows, I usually have the last word. He's not my husband, but anyway. We've handed out awards, we've thanked everybody except for one person.
Yeah.
So we have to thank Stephen for being a brilliant chair. I'm saying that because we want him to stay on, obviously. He does so much work, obviously, behind the scenes, and he organises us all. So, you know, we really want to thank him for everything that you do.
Thank you. Definitely all go now. Thank you very much. Yes, stay and have a drink.
Yeah.